All right, what's going on? Welcome back to the channel. So in this video, I'm going to give you two different methods that you can use to maximize the amount of funding that you get. The purpose of this video is because I want to see as many people win, closing out 2021, going into 2022. So depending on when you're watching this, whether it's the end of 2021 or if it's 2022, this is going to be applicable, especially moving into the way that the banking system is working. So banks like to look at two things, and these are the two things that I'm going to share here in this video. The first is banks are all about relationships. One of the most common questions that I get is, Irv, how can I get higher funding? Whether it's for my personal lines of credit, I have a $5,000 credit line, I'm trying to get that up to 15, 20, or I just started a business, I'm a startup, or I've been in business for about 6 to 8 months, but I want to get higher access to credit so that I can make the moves that I'm trying to make, whether it's purchase more products to put into my inventory, maybe hire some staff, or maybe outsource some of the jobs, or let's say some of the work that I have in my business, or maybe get some more services plugged in. Whatever that is, it's all going to point back to you being, you having not enough funding, right? Being undercapitalized. That's even a term that we can use, but we're going to use it because we're here on my channel, right? So the first thing that you want to look at is relationship banking. Now, oftentimes when we're talking about this, we think that this just happens at a local level with some of our local credit unions. And that is true. You do want to go in person. You want to meet your local banker. But let's go ahead and take that a step further. I recommend a lot of my students and a lot of my clients that I help build out their business credit profiles that are part of my mentorship program. I always tell them, hey, when you're trying to access the highest limits in your credit cards, again, with your credit union, with your regional bank, or with your national bank, which is your Wells Fargo, Bank of America, Chase, right? Your bigger banks, you want to make sure that you at least open a business account with them and have that open for at least 60 at the bare minimum before asking for a line of credit to at least 90 days. Now, the reason why I give you that range is because every bank has its own guidelines. I know if I were to go to maybe a Navy Federal and I were to kind of run a play with them and see how much funding I can get, I would usually say have it open for at least 30 days. Have some transactions going in and out in terms of having frequent deposits coming in. Some banks like to see, I know Bank of America and even Chase, they like to see anywhere between 25 to 30 deposits made within that 90-day frame. So let's say if you want to set aside some cash so that you can constantly have that going into your bank, because by doing it like this is going to have that organic feel with the bank rather than them just feeling, okay, this person is just here to get lines of credit out of us. Now, they do want to do business with us, but we have to make sure that we follow this rule, right? This unspoken rule, which is banks for some reason like to lend money to people that don't need it. I can assure you, if you're running up in a bank and you have poor credit, or if you're not coming in with any type of cash to offer them so that they can also benefit from having that relationship with you, they're going to make it really hard on you on the back end when you try to apply for higher limits. Again, this goes for personal and this goes for business credit. Another big credit card company that likes to do this is Wells Fargo, really bank, right? With their credit cards, it's going to be Wells Fargo. Here's the second thing that you want to pay attention to. And the second method is if you're going to try to get any type of credit limit increases, you want to try to do it right after you run up some of your credit cards and then you pay them off. So I often tell, again, some of my students, and I'm giving this to you guys for free here today. All I ask is that you hit that subscribe button down below if you found value in this content and you smash that like button. Is if you are going, and if you know you are going to have or ask for a higher credit limit going into, let's say, the next couple of weeks to months, I would rather have somebody kind of pre-plan that. Here's what that sounds like. You want to take a calculated approach when you are trying to maximize the amount of funding that you get. So I knew that going into the end of the year, a lot of banks like to offer higher credit limits because they know that people are going to do end of the quarter shopping, whether it's for their employees, for their staff, if you have business credit, or they're going to have some more equipment because they want to set themselves up for Q1 going into 2022. Or possibly if you're on the personal side, this is going to apply to you as well because they know that as consumers, we're going to be out there spending money. So banks are smart. Banks say, let's go ahead and raise their credit limits. So I would go ahead and piece that by already, and maybe you can still do this depending on how you use your credit card. So this may vary case by case. But if you've been using up your credit cards and you've been using at least 50% or 60% of them, paying them off, bringing that credit utilization under 10%. This is going to be important, under 10% for at least the last 60 to 90 days. So assuming from September or October all the way through now in December and even going into January, because Q1 still counts, you want to then bring that credit utilization from 50, 60, wherever it is, down to 10% since you've been using it up quite a bit. And then you want to ask them for a credit limit increase. Now, one thing that you want to pay attention to with this piece of information right here is that every bank moves differently. You'll have one bank that they're going to hard pull you, meaning you are going to get a hard inquiry for each credit limit increase that you ask for. And then you have other companies like, let's say, American Express. What the cool thing about the American Express ecosystem is that once you're in their system, they like to keep you in as family. Since you've been treating them right by paying the card on time, they're going to treat you right. And one of the ways that they're going to treat you right is that they're not going to hard pull you for any credit limit increase that you ask for. And they're also going to give you a 2 to a 3x increase on each of your lines. So run with this information. I didn't want to hold you. As you can see, this video shouldn't be that long. And if it is, I'm going to make maybe a couple edits on there. But if you found value in this content, consider hitting the subscribe button down below. Join the official community. Don't forget that anytime I'm not posting on here, I'm posting over on the Inside with Irv show. So if you like what I have going on over here, you'll love what I have going on over in my podcast. Once again, I appreciate you guys checking me out. Till next time, everyone, I will see you in the next video.